Hey guys, welcome back to another math lesson. Today we're going to look at compound interest, which, unlike simple interest, which is calculated one time, compound interest is calculated multiple times. And we're going to look at two different ways to solve this. So, compound interest is going to be multiple times. It's calculated multiple times. And what that means is you're going to be earning interest off your interest. So the interest gets added to the principal, and then more interest is earned. And then that interest gets added, and then more interest is earned. And don't forget that interest is extra money. So you start with your principal, and then you get interest, which is on top of that. Interest is not money that you contributed. It's either extra money you have to pay or it's extra money that you earned from your investment. The formula for compound interest is A equals capital P parentheses 1 plus R and then an exponent of T. So A equals capital P parentheses 1 plus R close parentheses to the exponent T. Don't forget that an exponent is not multiplication. If the exponent is to the third power, you multiply that number by itself 3 times. Just like simple interest, all of these letters stand for the same stuff. So P is still principal. Principal. That is your money invested or borrowed. This is your money invested or borrowed. R from simple interest was the rate. For compound interest, it's the same thing. So R is the percent as a decimal. R is the percent written as a decimal. And just like last time, T is time in years. This is time in years. Now, with simple interest, it equaled I. But for this one, it equals A. And what A is, I like to think of it as all the money. It is all the money. It's the principal and the interest. I'm going to put P plus I. It's the principal and the interest. So if at the end it's asking for just the interest, we have to take out the principal. All right, let's work a question. If it told us that the principal is 125, the principal is 125, the rate is 4%, and time is 2 years, and it tells you it's compounded annually. Compounded annually. That's the key phrase here. So, do you know? Well, first, let's write down the formula. A equals P parentheses 1 plus R to the T. All right. Do you know the principal? Yes, the principal is 125. Do you know the percentage rate? Yes, the rate is 4%. So the rate is 4%. Oh, wait, as a decimal. 0.04. So it's 0.04. All right. How many years? 2. 2 years. And so that's going to tell us all of the money. All of the money. So to solve these, we're going to do steps because this is a multi-step equation. So step 1, I'm going to add inside the parentheses. Add 1 and the rate. So step 1, I add these two. So what is 1 plus 0.04? 1.04. 1.04. All right, the rest of the stuff is still here. To the 2, and then times 125 equals A. Okay. Now, next, I do the exponent because when I do PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents. So step 2, I'm going to look at the exponent. And what that exponent tells me is that I have to do 1.04 times 1.04. So I have to do 1.04 squared, which equals 1.04 times 1.04, which equals what? 1.0816. Yeah, that one's kind of brutal. Then, last step, I multiply by principal. So step 3, I multiply by the principal. So this, and don't forget the 125. 125 times that. I'll let you work that out. Tell me what you got. 135.20. 135.20. All right. Now, this is all the money. This is all of it. How much was the principal? $125. So then how much is just interest? Take out $125 because this is principal. This would tell me interest. So how much did I get in interest? $10.20. 10.20. So if it asks for interest, then we subtract the principal. But only if it asks for the interest. If it asks you for the total, that's 135.20. All right. There's another way to do this. This one is a table, and we're going to model what is happening when we add that money back in and then recalculate interest. So my principal for this one is, I'm going to put a little squiggly line to break these in two. All right, let's say that principal is going to be $450. Let's do a rate of 5% and time, let's do 3 years. So principal is $450, the rate is 5, time is 3 years. Now, you could do the formula or you could do this table method. So I start with my principal. I start with $450. And then I have to find 5% of that. So I'm going to multiply by 0.05 because this is the rate as a percent, or as a decimal, sorry, the rate as a decimal. So multiply those. What do you get? Make sure to round it 2 decimal places. So I get 2250. 2250. This is my interest after 1 year. So then what happens is the interest gets added to the principal. So you add it to the principal, and that equals 472.50. So after 1 year, I have this much money in the bank. Well, then the next year, when I start at the beginning of the year, I'm going to have $472.50 to start out. Then I get 5% of that. How much is 5% of this rounded to 2 decimal places? It's 23.63. Now, this is the interest after the second year. How much money was in the bank at the beginning of this year, of the second year? 472. Let's add some labels to the beginning. So this is year one. Year one. This is going to be year two. And this will be year three. So at the beginning of year two, I had this much money. We can call that beginning balance. We'll just say begin. Then, so if I earned this much interest, I have to add it back to what I had at the beginning of the year. So I have to add 472.50, which equals 496.13. Now, starting year three, how much money is going to be in the bank? 496.13. What's the percentage as a decimal? I'm going to times by 0.05. I'm going to give you this one. It's 2605. 26.05. What do I add 26.05 to? I add it back to what I had. So 496.13. So after 3 years, I have $520.94. This is my ending balance after 3 years. How much of that money did I put in the bank? I started with $450. So the interest are these three numbers added together, or I can minus the principal. And that tells me that I had $96.99 in interest only. This is interest. Again, interest are also these three numbers. So if I had added these three numbers together, I end up with that number. All right, you get to pick how you want to solve it. If you want to use the table or if you'd want to use the equation. If you use the equation, be careful with your exponent. Remember, that means to multiply it by itself that many times. All right, good luck. I will see you guys next time.